So next, you can take the floor by starting with the next one.
Hanibado? Yeah,
Yep.
sure. I got a lot to say about Hanibado. Who is writing this show?
Yeah.
Like, who specifically? And are there multiple people writing different stories for this show and sewing it together? Because I have never seen a more pretty show
Oh yeah.
with a good premise and a interesting main character that they decide not to ever focus on.
Yeah, exactly.
We finally dropped this show last week after constantly wrestling with wanting to drop this, because what this show does is throws you into these it's got a million side characters.
Yeah.
And it will constantly throw you into like their personal story as if you've been watching this character develop for 80 episodes and you care about this character, but I don't. I don't even know their name.
Yeah.
The only person's name I know is the main character's, and her backstory is the only one I care about, because one thing that is constantly interesting is this girl is crazy. There is something wrong with her. And she has problems, and rightfully so. She might be crazy. This show is a situation where, as a writer myself, most of the conversation we have when we're watching these episodes of Hanibado is how this show can be interesting. And we're always, every time we start an episode, we're on the fence with dropping it. But they do this thing where at the end of the episode, they give me what I want in the last 2 minutes, which is stuff with the main character and her mom.
Yeah.
But then all the other time, it's a bunch of bullcrap about other characters whose names I don't even know.
Yeah.
And I hate that, because this is a very pretty show. I played badminton in high school. I played tennis in college. So it gets me. It gets me right in that nostalgia heart. But I can't stand this horrible writing. It's like they have 12 different writers all writing in separate rooms, not talking to each other. And then they hand in their scripts and they just like...
That's the final product. All 12 put together.
Or what they're doing. And we finally figured out that the way to drop this show was to drop it in the middle of the episode before it had a chance to show me stuff with the main character and her mom at the end. So last week we killed this show.
Oh wow.
By just turning it off in the middle and never looking back.
Wow. And that's actually funny, because I'm not sure, like, as far as, like, everybody in the anime community, but I know that at least a couple people that I watched were interested in this when it was first coming out. And it's actually funny because it's a sports anime, and I've never really watched many sports anime at all. But I like this show. And I never really thought about, you mentioned about how the main character doesn't even get focused. I never even remembered, I guess not remembered, it's not the right word, but I never even thought about that. It's just like, oh yeah, they were supposed to be the main character and now focus is on this person. But I guess for me, when you mention about like all the stuff that's a problem with it, for me it's just like, okay, yeah, I guess a way to put it is how you described Keijo earlier. It's trash with diamonds. It's not like, probably not the best as far as like with everything going on with all the 12 different plots that are just mixed together and whatever, no one talking to each other. But it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and that was my problem, is that it was fun. It was fun to watch, but it was increasingly making me mad.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't getting what I wanted out of this show.
Yeah, and I guess for me, that might be just that I went into Hanabata basically expecting nothing, so anything is just like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And one thing that I will mention... Oh, you can go
ahead. Its opening is so catchy.
Oh, yes.
I love its opening so much.
I love the opening. I was just about to say, the one scene I love from the opening is when Hanasake is walking to the net and everybody just goes through the net showing different pictures. That scene gets me. I'm not sure what it is about it.
God, and what they do with the main character's face and her eyes when she's like crazy, going like in her crazy mode.
Yeah.
Love it. I just want more of it. That is all I want out of it, is more of what that is. What is up with her? I'm very, very confident that she is very bipolar.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how they don't really focus as much on her. I never really considered that because I was just watching it in my off time, just relaxing. So I never really thought much about, why isn't this the case?
Yes, exactly, and that started becoming our biggest problem with it. And like, my girlfriend was falling asleep during it, and so my buddy Strider and I were like the only ones watching it. But we were constantly mad throughout the whole episode, and then in the last 5 minutes, here's
the main
enough
character
just to carry her on to the next episode. Here you go. Here's some stuff, some drama with her and her mom. Enjoy that. We won't focus on it next episode, but we're leaving you on a cliffhanger as if we are going to.
Yeah, that's kind of weird that you mentioned that about how the main character isn't even the focus, because since all these anime are getting close to being wrapped up, how exactly are they going to cover the rest of the series?
And that is exactly why we dropped it, because we did not want this to wrap up without giving us anything that we were looking to get out of the show.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm not sure if they just had a basic plot just to finish off for this season, just hoping for a second season or whatever. Because if they did,
don't know. I have no idea. There's a anime podcast I listen to, and their opening description of the first episode of Hanebado was very accurate. Approximately 1,000 people play badminton. That's about it.
Any other thoughts on Hanebado?
It's badly written, and that's a travesty, because if this had just it doesn't even need better writing, it just needs better structuring.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it would be a good show. Its writing structure is all over the place, and it throws you into these backstories of characters whose names you don't even know.
Yeah.
Who you haven't even been able to have time to develop on. Like the episode where it was Glasses Girl's last game of high school and she wanted to win. I should have related to that, but I couldn't because I didn't even know she was a character.
Yeah. And I think
better writing structure would do this show very well. But other than that, I can't really say anything else on it.
Actually, one thing that I know I talked about like the summer anime that I was watching a few videos ago. It's probably been at least 3 months now or so. But I was basically talking about Hanebado, and I was saying, I remember Hanasaki's name, but the person that I thought was the main character, I couldn't even remember her name.
Yep.
That's kind of bad, because from the poster, she's like one of the ones that's right in the focus. So it's kind of strange that they...
and the way they open the show, I thought it was going to be about Tall Girl and Short Girl.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be like the two main characters, but they give you Tall Girl's struggles, and then they move on to somebody else.
Yeah. But any other thoughts on Hanebado outside of that?
I can't call it a good show. There's a lot of good in it, but I can't call it good because the writing is so bad.
Alright, so next is Tenro Sirius the Jaeger. I don't even know
which service this is on.
I don't know what it is.
Yep, I can see it looks like some edgelord bullcrap.
I was just about to say that because I was looking at the genres. Oh, vampire. Apparently that's a genre now.
Looks like something that if I was in middle school, everybody would be watching.
Yeah.
And obsessed with. But
I've never watched it.
I don't even know. Nope, neither have I. I'd never even heard of it.
Yeah. Well, that's probably the fastest we've gone through an anime.
Yep.
So,
and it's about to get faster.
Alright, so you can go ahead and try to pronounce this because I don't want to look like the fool here.
I'm trying to remember what the translation title is. I think it's Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs.
I was just about to say, I think it's something about hot springs.
Yeah, it's... If you know what Love Hina is, It's
I've heard
like
of it.
Love Hina. It's like Love Hina, but it's got a ghost with boobs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was hanging out with a friend maybe a month ago, and he said you should watch this. I watched it. Don't remember even getting through the first episode of it.
Yeah, we didn't even get a couple minutes in. I think we were in the opening scene when we turned it off.
But yeah, it's just like one of those. It's just like, yeah, I know the plot. This guy's basically Danny Phantom's parents, but not really. He's basically hunting ghosts, and it's a harem, which is basically why I didn't even consider it.
Yep, it's your basic cookie cutter ecchi harem show where he will be surrounded by tons of beautiful women but not actually make
Because
a
they're
move
ghosts.
or even try to remotely date any of them, but he'll always be obsessed with them and think they're hot, but he won't go anywhere past that. He won't even try to just be their friend.
Yeah. But since we got through those super fast, I guess we can spend a lot of time talking about the next one.
Asobi Asobase is the best show this season.
I love it. I love it.
I'm just gonna throw that out there right now.
Actually,
I didn't expect it to be.
I think I mentioned that in the video that I was talking about summer anime. I think I remember saying that it's my favorite anime of the season. I just love it so much.
I have never laughed so hard and out loud in my life than with episodes of this.
And the thing of it is, the episode, it starts with it's just like, okay, there's 3 girls. One of them pretends to be English but isn't English. One of them needs to know English. And the other one is the third wheel, I guess you could call it. Not really, I guess. I guess kind of like Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy, just the stupid one of the group, I guess.
I can't even describe this show to people.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how. It's just funny. It is the most well-structured random crap that happens on a daily basis.
Actually,
when we started this, we didn't think it was going to go far because the first couple episodes were funny but not strong. But after episode 3, every episode just keeps escalating more and more and more to the point where the last episode we watched it twice on purpose.
Oh, actually, let's see. Today is Friday. Did you watch the most recent episode? I don't know what
we watch all of our stuff on Sundays.
Oh, okay. I don't remember what episode number it was.
The last episode we watched was the one with the sex doll.
Okay, yeah, I know that one. But you can go ahead and stop me if you actually watch this part of the episode. But one of the episode plots basically is, I think it's Hanako has some sort of game that she made up, and it's basically you move spaces, pick up a card, and do whatever it says. Did you watch that?
That was last. That was the one.
Okay. I love the scene where they're just don't even care, just throw all the references out there. I'm gonna fire Kamehameha. I'm gonna do a Sailor Moon pose. I love it.
Is this show getting? Does it have a dub?
Not as far as I know. I don't think so.
Okay. What are you watching it on?
Actually, a lot of the anime I watch is on. I think it's Watch Cartoon. Yeah, WatchCartoonOnline.com.
Okay, so that's why. Okay, so you're an episode or 2 behind.
Oh, okay.
Because that was the episode from 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was. For some reason, I thought it was the most recent. It might not have been, but you have watched that part of it with the whole Kamehameha and whatever.
Yeah, that was 2 episodes ago.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember. I can't remember if it was the last episode. For some reason, I thought it was. It might not have been.
Well, since you're watching it on something like that, your episodes might be an episode behind because they're doing the subs.
Okay. But, oh yeah, I do remember watching the sex doll because it was a giant one that's in the shape of Olivia, right?
Yes, that's the most recent one.
That.
Okay, cool.
But I was watching the episode with the whole, them doing the Kamehameha and all the references, and I didn't expect that. Did they do something with Pokemon as well? I know they did with another part, but that specific scene?
Yeah, because I think it was in that episode they were playing basically Pokemon Go, but it was with bacteria. Yeah.
But I remember in that game scene, they had the Kamehameha, the Sailor Moon, the tongue twister. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what the last one was.
It was a tongue twister challenge, but it was a separate skit that had the Pokemon Go reference.
Yeah, I saw that. I love that. I just love how many references they throw in there, because when they have a reference, it's just like, I know where that comes from.
I also love the thing I think I love most about this show is that it's not just a bunch of one-offs that don't connect to other episodes.
Mm-hmm.
There are jokes that will keep coming up over and over again, like specifically in the Pokemon Go reference skit about the bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they constantly make fun of the fact that Olivia has really bad BO.
Oh yeah. And one thing, like you were saying, it's hard to explain it to people. And one thing that I'm never going to understand, you might have even caught it, but whenever Haneko's butler just comes out of nowhere, he pops up, and for some reason there's a sheep in the background.
Yeah,
at least it sounds like it. I'm not sure why it's there, but I'm not complaining.
I can't. Yeah, like I can't care because it's so funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Like just thinking about this show is making me laugh.
Oh, I love it.
It's great.
And the one thing about it is the opening is so misleading, because when you go into the opening...
that's exactly what I was about to say next.
It's just like...
the opening is the most misleading thing I've ever seen.
Exactly. And... what was I gonna say? The opening... Oh, that's right. It's made by Studio Lurch, which... Didn't they do Gakko Garashi?
They might have.
I know they did something.
I don't remember. I didn't start really paying attention to studios until maybe about a year ago.
Okay.
When I started regularly watching seasonal anime. Because back when I watched Gakko Garashi, I wasn't living here then. I had moved away, and I wasn't watching seasonal anime. And Gakko Garashi was kind of the most recent thing, the most new thing I had seen at the time, because I was watching a video from a guy who usually talks about Higurashi, who was talking about Gakko Garashi.
Oh, okay.
And he said in the middle of the video, if you haven't watched it, pause the video and go watch this.
Yeah.
And I did, and that's how I ended up seeing it.
Yeah, I did just check. It was... Lurch did make Asabe Asabase and Gakko Garashi.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's just like, I was watching through that, and I was just thinking, oh, this is made by the same people that made Gakko Garashi, so it's gonna look charming and sweet at the start, but then just hit you at the end of the first episode, and I was just waiting for it. But I didn't really care that they didn't, because it was just so darn funny.
Yeah, like, the opening is still misleading.
Yeah.
It's just the misleading is that they're not a bunch of sweet girls.
Exactly.
They're actually buttholes.
Oh yeah, exactly. Honestly, we could just go on forever talking about this show. This is honestly one of my favorites, just even in general, honestly. Because especially for me, like you said earlier, you know the anime that I watched. I love me some comedy.
The voice actors for the characters singing and performing the endings and openings. It's always a plus.
Yeah. Alright, I didn't check. Oh! This is another one that I know that you watch. If you're done with talking about Asabe Asabase, at least.
It's the best show ever.
I love it. But I know the next one, I know that you said about how you were watching it. Happy Sugar Life?
This is the other show that is the best show ever, but it is not for everybody.
Yeah.
This show, another one that is on Amazon Prime, I'll start out by saying it is Escalation the anime.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you think you have this show figured out, you don't.
Yeah.
It comes off like, and even like I'm glancing through the description of it, it comes off like it's going to be like this edgy murder anime show. It is not that at all, though there is murder in it.
Yeah.
What this show does so well is especially with its art, is show what really good physical depictions of what different forms of anxiety look like.
Huh.
And this is going to be hard to go into because this is another show where you cannot have spoilers or it's going to have less of an effect.
Yeah.
But there is never a moment where my watch group and I aren't like going, holy crap, every minute. There was a scene in last week's episode where we were all collectively holding our breath the entire time the scene was playing out because it was so tense and so out of nowhere. But it doesn't it doesn't even ride that line of being edgy, like happy, like hot. It's not like a haha, here's a cute girl and she's gonna stab you and she's gonna kill this guy and all that. No, it's not that at all. This show, its characters all have very real problems and different forms of anxiety that stem from different types of abusive upbringings. And yes, a lot of the characters are bad people. Some of them are somewhat justified, others are irredeemable. But this show does a good job of showing real things that can occur in real life with people. And that is one thing it does very well, aside from the fact that its art depicts what anxiety can actually look like.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say about it. I did watch the first episode. It's been a while now, but I watched the first episode and the whole thing about, let me check, Sato. That's the main character? Yes,
Sato?
yes. Yeah. I was watching, like, the first episode of it with her basically being overworked at her job, and then the whole thing with her boss and that coworker. After that scene, I was just like, excuse me?
Yeah, this show will make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Even if you can handle stuff like that, it will still make you uncomfortable. That is why I say this is definitely not for everybody.
Yeah.
But if you want something that's going to make you feel, maybe not good feelings, but it will make you feel, this is a show for you. If you're looking for, like, a human check to make, like, something that you want to see to make sure you're still human.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. But
great show. If Asobase is my, like, top show of the season, I would say this is also, only because you can't really compare the two shows. They are two very different shows.
Yeah. But, like I said, I haven't watched much of it, so I have nothing to say on it.
I can almost guarantee you would not like it.
Okay. Anything else? Well, anything else you want to say on it?
Its opening's fantastic. If
Okay.
you don't, even if you don't watch the show, watch the opening. It's great.
I know that I saw the opening when I first watched it, but it's been a while now, so I can't really recall it off the top of my head.
Yeah, songs are good and the visuals are amazing.
Okay. So, how do you feel about Island?
Hated it.
I've never watched it.
Good. It's bad.
Okay.
It's a bad adaptation of a bad visual novel.
Okay.
We watched 3 episodes. It's not good.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because you were mentioning earlier about Asobase being dubbed and it hasn't yet. I'm pretty sure I saw the Island is being dubbed.
Oh, that's surprising because
Yeah.
it's a bad show.
Because
And the bad thing is, like, the first episode kind of, like, it was setting up stuff that I like. Like, it was setting up some good mystery stuff, but I just had this nagging feeling that it wasn't what I thought it was, and so I looked up the visual novel, and it turns out I was right. And it was a bad show.
yeah,
Much like the next show on this list.
Oh yeah. I got nothing else to say about Island. Never watched it. So
Good.
any
You know what else is bad? Masters of Ragnarok and the whatever Valkyrie.
Oh, Valkyrie. Okay.
Yeah, whatever
I-
that is. This is isekai at its worst.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know that I scrolled through this, let's see, Local Shrine of Divine Mirror. Oh, Another World! How about that?
Yeah. This is a show that looks... It seems like someone had a hat full of isekai tropes,
Just
and they just kind of pulled them out of a hat and put them together. It's bad. And what's worse about it being bad is that it looks bad. Its animation is garbage.
Yeah, again, nothing I've watched. Honestly, there isn't really much that I'm watching from this season, so a lot of this is probably just gonna be you talking.
Well, we're getting towards the end of stuff I've actually watched, so we'll be able to, like, go through the rest of this pretty quick.
Okay. So, any other, what was it called? Valkyrie? Any other...
I know it's Masters of Ragnarok and the something.
Okay, yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
Bad show, poorly animated. I'm done talking about it.
Okay. So, Subaru.
Don't know what it is.
I
It looks like an isekai, though, because I see the words popular MMORPG.
Yeah, I can't remember what it.
But
Oh, that's what.
I don't know what it. I don't know what it's on, or I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, I know that I was thinking to myself, what drew me into watching it, and I saw that it was by Studio Lurch, and of course, already mentioned that it's by the same people of Gakko Garashi. I watched the first episode. It was just like, oh, okay, not really my favorite. Basically, well, you could probably read the description of it, but basically, they're in a game. This one girl basically dies from, I think it's actually something in real life. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen it.
So it's not you die in the game, you die for real?
I think it's something like that. But basically, they're childhood friends. She dies. They go their separate ways. And then they come back. The game is different or whatever. I can't remember. And she's here. And everybody's wondering, what's she doing here? I thought she died. But I don't know anything else about it because I haven't seen past episode 1.
Neat.
Great explanation of it, too. Although, I think this is also something that people suggested for me to watch, so I guess I have experience.
It seems like, it looks like a show that people would recommend.
Yeah. Oh, so any other, well, I guess you don't really have much thoughts on it since you didn't even know it existed.
Nope.
Alright, well, I'm more than happy to go on to Chio's School Road.
Good, because I love this show.
It's actually funny because I know that, I don't remember if I've ever mentioned this to you, but at first I was going through the anime from this season and I was just like, okay, Chio's School Road looks interesting, and I watched it and it's just like, okay, this is cool, not really anything great, but then when you mentioned to me about it later, I rewatched it and really liked it.
Yeah, this, like, if you are over the age of, like, 20-something, if you're, like, in your, like, if you're over 21, I will say, this show will spark a feeling of nostalgia in you because it's just these kids doing dumb things that actual real-life kids did.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see Theo's dumb little smile when she's about to do something stupid, I relate to her so much.
Yeah,
the comedy is really good. It's very nostalgic to just dumb kids dumb kidding around.
Dumb kidding.
The only negative on this show is that there is someone on this production team who is a creep.
Yeah.
Because there is some unnecessary fan service that happens in this show that is not necessary whatsoever, and it's kind of gross sometimes, but I give it a pass because this show's so funny, except for the girl with the huge boobs that does comedy or whatever it's called. She's disgusting. I'm glad she's not in a lot of skits because I hate her and she's gross and I don't like her at all.
Yeah, the thing of it is, I was reading the description of it when the show was gonna come out, and I was reading, okay, it's about somebody that's basically trying not to be tardy to school. And I was thinking to myself, well, how exactly can I relate to that? I've never been late to school or whatever. But
yeah, I don't really think that description serves the show very well because not being tardy to school is never an issue.
Yeah.
Half the time, some of the stuff takes place after school.
That's true.
And outside of school, it never has anything to do with, oh no, I'm gonna be late, and here's why I was late. It's just dumb people doing dumb things.
Yeah.
And having a good time.
But literally, I could just spend hours talking about it. It's just, I really enjoy it. It's probably not the best thing this season or in general, but it's just fun to watch.
Yeah, we always watch this alongside Asabi Asabase because they are the strongest comedies this season.
Oh yeah.
It's got that skeeve factor. That's the only big negative. But outside of that, it's a funny and wholesome, heartwarming show.
Yeah, it's just something just nice to relax to after a rough day.
Yeah, it is very much a feel-good show.
So you have any other thoughts on Chio's School Road?
Nope. I recommend you watch it. That's about it. I think it's something that almost anyone can enjoy.
Alright, well, have you watched any of the free series?
No, girlfriend really liked Free. I don't know if she knows that the new series exists or not, but I know we haven't watched it. I know it's a beautiful show. It's just I'm not into the subject matter at all.
Yeah, I've never seen any of it, so I can't really say anything about it either.
Yep, like I'm sure it's good, and I've seen clips and stuff from it. It's not something I will sit down and watch. But I won't go out and say it's bad or anything. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
So next is Harukana Receive.
This is a weird one because we watched the first episode and it wasn't great, but it also wasn't good.
Okay. Yeah, I've never watched it, so I have no experience.
Yeah, it's about beach volleyball and fan service.
Yeah.
Not too much fan service, but like one thing. Okay, now that I'm thinking more on the first time we watched this show and decided not to watch it, I was trying to think of, was this show pretty or not? The animation's not great, but what I really don't like, the art though. The art is not bad. The way the people are drawn is not bad. One thing that is bad though is it's like they took a lens flare effect and turned it way up.
Oh.
Because this show is bright.
Oh, yeah.
I remember turning this show on and we were in the dark. We were watching it in the dark and I had to squint my eyes because the show was too bright.
Yeah, I'm just seeing the poster right now and I can agree with that one.
Yeah, it had more negatives than good by a very close margin, to the point where like it wasn't doing anything inoffensive, but it wasn't anything we felt like we would not be bored watching.
Okay. Yeah, I've never watched it at all, so I don't have much to say about it.
Yep.
Alright, any other thoughts on your end?
On Harukana Receive, no.
Okay.
Turn down your lens flare. That's about it.
Now, this I actually didn't know. Is this supposed to be like a JoJo? Next?
Is that JoJo's Part 5?
I guess. I don't know. I'm assuming that it is.
I'm not caught up on JoJo's. I'm still in Battle Tendency, so I'm not caught up at all, so I can't really say anything about this.
People wanted me to watch JoJo. I discussed it in a video, never came back to it. I didn't know that it was on this season. I guess I
don't know what this is, because I didn't know Part 5 was starting already.
Well, it says it's been around.
I knew it was.
It said July 5th.
I knew it was starting this year, but I didn't know already. Huh. Oh well. I don't know. I'm so far behind in JoJo. It's gonna be out by the time I ever finish it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about a lot of them, like Naruto, Boruto, One Piece. Of course, I think Naruto's done, isn't it? I'm not sure.
And Boruto is garbage.
Yeah, that's how it is with a lot of those shows like that. It's just like, I don't want to start watching it because then I have to keep up. I think, correct me if I'm wrong.
Most of the time don't watch Shonen Jump shows because the manga is always enjoyable, but the anime is usually bad for me personally because I hate filler.
Oh, yeah.
Naruto in particular had more filler than actual canon episodes.
Yeah, and
I hate filler.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just taking a guess here. I think I saw that One Piece had like over 1,000 episodes or something.
One Piece is really long, and you will never catch up on in your lifetime.
Oh my god! Yeah, I thought that I saw that somewhere. That's just wow. It had more episodes than Pokemon does, I think. Maybe.
It is very long, yes.
All right, so we were talking about JoJo with that, right?
Yeah, JoJo is also somewhat long, but not too bad. Like you can catch up on it.
I mean, if I really wanted to, I could probably catch up on it, but I don't want to.
It's dumb fun.
I just don't want to force myself to watch it if I'm not going to enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's fine.